Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In this 26th class on Brihadāranyaka Upanishad, we are going to take up a mantra from the 4th chapter of this Upanishad, which can be very puzzling to any student, anyone who is a bit new to the language of this Vedanta. The mantra says, in this state, a father becomes no father, a mother becomes no mother, and a long list several relationships are dismissed, or to be one more precise, several identities are simply denied. Even several components of the universe as we know, or as the Shastras normally have taught us, are dismissed. Worlds, Swarga, Naraka, and so on, become no worlds. Gods, Indra, Varuna, and so on, become no gods. Vedas become no Vedas. A thief becomes no thief. The killer of a Brahmana is no killer. And so on. We shall take those words explicitly a little later. So we have accordingly given the title. In the title slide, we have said, where all identities and relationships are absent. So you wonder what this is. Some of you may, upon reading this mantra, which is 4th chapter, 3rd section, and 22nd mantra, you may think that this description that a father is no more a father, that means there is no father or mother, there is no Veda or any Loka, there is no high or low, there is no front or back. This utter negation seems to be pointing to the pure self. It seems to be pointing to Brahman. For in Brahman, there is no space, no time, no going, no coming. Brahma is one without a second. Brahma is where the Maya Kalpita, Desha and Kala are absent. Brahma, when appreciated in its pure form, is without all kinds of laws which very much apply to what we have been calling avidya bhumi. So if there is a certain state, if there is a truth, words fail here, call it state, call it condition, call it truth, call it a plane, call it a domain, call it a sphere. These words have all been developed to describe things in the empirical world. And we are talking about the truth that is above empirical parameters. Therefore, bear with some limitations of the language and take the matter in true spirit. So, Brahma is untouched by avidya. Brahma is like the sun has no darkness. Don't tell me science says sun also has some dark corners. Don't stretch any example beyond the reference. Vedanta is not competing with modern science, modern physics. Sometimes an example may be taken and one is not to pick on that example and question it on the basis of some latest discovery. So take it as an idiom. Just as the sun has no darkness whatsoever, the sun is a ball of fire, sun is all light, at least in the layman's language. So take it more as an expression. Like when I say it's like an idiom, what it means is sometimes to describe some company which has been giving you a lot of benefits. More benefits you receive, more are coming. Maybe you are an investor, you have bought their stocks and shares. Then you call, oh, this company where I have invested is like the hen laying gold eggs in Aesop's fable. Hen laying gold eggs, everybody knows that story. And some couple who were very greedy had that hen with them. And one day they said, why should we wait every day for one more gold egg? Let us cut open the stomach of the hen and collect all the gold eggs that are due to us in the next 1 year, whatever. And the hen dies, they don't even get one egg. So Aesop's fable has that picture of a hen laying gold eggs. So we may make that an idiomatic expression. A company, or for that matter, even a person who has been helping us and going on with his help. He is the gold egg laying hen for me, we say. And if somebody then raises the question, you know what? This Aesop's fable is unscientific. There cannot be a hen laying eggs. We say, don't mix Aesop's fable with modern science. We also do not think that there was a hen like that really, but it conveys a message. So in that sense, you may take, like the sun has no darkness at all, the Atma, now this is serious, this is not to be taken as just a manner of saying, it is free of avidya. Avidya is darkness and Brahma is untouched by darkness. It is childish for any of us to imagine that Brahma actually got caught in avidya and with our Shravana and Manana and Nididhyasana, we freed Brahma from avidya. Rama, Brahma does not come under avidya at all. There is actually nothing called avidya, no bhavarupa avidya, some substance, some stuff, some material or some non-material entity also. There is no such thing. Avidya is, we have been saying, asamyak darshana, erroneous seeing. In erroneous seeing, which is called avidya bhumi, time comes in, space comes in, causation comes in. In avidya bhumi, the law of karma comes in. You suffer and it is connected to some bad karma you had done. you are honored, felicitated, treated like a king, then the law of karma says this is the fructification of some good karma. Now, in Brahma, once there is no space, no time, no causation, there is no karma too. Na karma, na karma phalam, brahmani vartate. Now, are we saying that the mantra that we are taking up in this session is a pointer to Shuddha Brahma or Shuddha Atma, Brahma and Atma being one in the Advaita perspective? Are we talking of a mantra that points to Brahma? Having spent quite a few minutes on the nature of Brahma, where no one is a father, no one is a mother, no one is a brother, no one is a sister, no one is pious, no one is wicked, etc. Now I am going to an extent, pull the carpet below your feet. This mantra is not about Brahman, or this mantra is in a sense about Brahman, but in direct terms, it is actually about deep sleep. This mantra presents before us the less known secret of deep sleep. With this, let us open the title slide in which we have given the title, The Secret of Deep Sleep. So, the title slide, as in big letters, capital letters, uppercase letters, The Secret of Deep Sleep, where all identities, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a thief, I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a loser, I'm a winner. These are all identities. I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Kshatriya, I'm a European, I'm a Chinese person. These are called identities. All identities and all relationships are simply absent. This is the secret of deep sleep. Because we are extremely conditioned to travel in space. We go from San Francisco to Dallas, Fort Worth. We go from London to Scotland. In India, somebody travels by Rajdhani Express from Mumbai to Delhi. Travel, long distance travel or short travel just around our place of stay, have sunk so much into our thinking that we look at the transition from waking to dream and dream to deep sleep as a travel. We use the language. When we go to deep sleep, wait a minute, who is going to deep sleep? Is there someone going at all? Is there an entity that goes from waking to dream, waking to deep sleep? We must question that. And even if there is an entity, is such travel possible at all? What do you mean? Is there the same time axis? Is there the same space axis? Space also has x, y, z as the three axes, three coordinates. We have learned geometry. We have learned enough mathematics where some travel in space, even if it is from Mumbai to Delhi, can be described where Mumbai is described as X1, Y1 and Z1. Delhi is described as X2, Y2 and Z2. These are descriptions of points of space. Now we ask a question, what makes you presume that there is the same space in which waking and dream are located? What makes you presume that there is the same time axis on which T1 to T2, time point 1 to time point 2, you are in waking. T2 to T3, you went to dream. T3 to T4, you went to deep sleep, and then you came back. Rama Rama, you are imagining with no permission, with no true basis. Therefore, we say, in deep sleep, you are Brahma. That is the revelation of Vedanta. The Upanishads reveal that deep sleep is a state where, in an inaccurate language, we talk about going to deep sleep. Right in this lecture, one or two of you may go to deep sleep, saying, this is going above my head. I'm dozing off. You may go to deep sleep. You use the language, you go to deep sleep. Friends, really speaking, there is no going to deep sleep. You are Brahma and you don't go anywhere. In you, who is Brahma, in you, who is the pure self, waking state is something, some form in which you appear. You have appeared as this waking state. We don't even permit a duality of the nature of you being the Adhara and waking state appears upon you as a shadow play. For in the very common and popular metaphor of cinema show, the cinema screen has its identity or its existence, and projection is made upon the cinema screen. So there are two. Without the cinema screen also, the projection can take place, or the light and shadow can go through the air, through the space. And without the projection, the screen can be. Is that the case with Brahma and waking state? Is that the case between Brahma and dream? Is that the case between Brahma and deep sleep? We clarify that the more precise way to put it is Brahma itself becomes or appears as waking state. Brahma appears as waking state. And really speaking, we would avoid the expression at a later time Brahma appears as dream. That means you have given such a high status to time, Brahma has to wait. Is it time for me to appear as dream? Like if you were an actor and director and producer have told you, you must come exactly at such and such point, play your role, and then go down the stage. Don't hang around there for more time, nor come to the stage before your time. You said, okay. Otherwise, you will lose the job of an actor. You are yet to rise to heights, let us say. You are a newcomer, you got a role in a drama with great difficulty. So you say, okay, only when my turn comes, I will enter the scene, and so on. So is Brahma like that poor actor, whereas time, that producer and director who beckon Brahma and who ask Brahman to go. God forbid. Brahma does not go from waking to dream. At a later time, Brahma appears as dream is a great insult to Brahma. Brahma appears as waking. Brahma appears as dream. When Brahma does not appear as either waking or dream, when Brahma is, we are Brahma. We experience non-duality in us. That is Sushupti. That is deep sleep. And in deep sleep, again, because of limitation of language, we say when we are without appearing as anything. We don't appear as anything. When? What to do? We have to use this word when, because the word when is connected to time. On a blackboard, you write graphically the axis of time, show T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. And then someone asks you, okay, in this graphic representation, when does the sun rise? You say T1 is 6 a.m., that is when the sun rises. When does the sun set? T9, T8, T9 is 7 p.m. That is when in this part of the world the sun sets. Sun rises on the axis of time, sun sets on the axis of time, but Brahma does not move from waking to dream on the axis of time. That would be promoting time, the axis of time, to a level higher than Brahma. So these are some of the less known secrets of deep sleep. In view of that, let's see the whole mantra, and I will share with you certain interesting points that Sri Shankaracharya brings out in his commentary. Just to take a quick look, it's a very simple mantra otherwise. Atra pita bhavati. Talking about deep sleep, which is Brahma without appearing as anything. Brahma appearing as waking, Brahma appearing as dream, Brahma not appearing as anything else but being itself. These days, don't we talk even in popular psychology? Be yourself. Don't pretend. To please her, don't say some words which are not true. And to irritate him, don't tell a lie. Be yourself and speak. At the most, you speak with certain sensitivity, but not violating truth. We say it. So, likewise, you have to use a careful language. The deep sleep, Brahma is without appearing as any cause and effect, high and low, far and near. There is no such thing. That is the meaning of Atra Pita Apita Bhavati. Father is no father. Mata Amata. Loka Aloka. Devaha Adevaha. Gods become no gods. Vedaha Avedaha. The statement looks like an insult to Vedas. So Vedas lose their identity, Vedas lose their sanctity, Vedas lose any place or position. The Vedas themselves say that because Vedas are within our reference of sadhana. When we are sadhaka, we have a sadhya. Vedas are our great guidance. But the Vedas themselves say the truth is where you are not a sadhaka. There is nothing to achieve. You are already free. And going by that revelation, Veda bhavanti stenaha, a thief, stenaha bhavati, no thief. Bhrunaha, somebody who is so cruel, he goes and beats up a pregnant woman and her embryo growing in her womb dies. Bhruna is embryo. Chandala, a certain low caste in a certain social perspective. Upanishads have better things to do than emphasize or bring to our mind certain caste systems. But for long, there have been varieties of divisions in this world, in India, in Africa, in USA, in Australia, everywhere, any community. Even today, the world everywhere has various communities. So this is what is called using the language that describes whatever is, neither sanctioning it, nor presenting it, nor introducing it. So Chandalaha, one of the lokas, Paulkasaha, elsewhere it is called Pulkasa, and Shankara Bhashya says Paulkasa is same as Pulkasa. So Paulkasa, Pulkasa, he explains, is another low caste. Shramanaha, a monk who keeps roaming, doesn't have his own or her own house. Tapasaha, a vanaprasthi, who is more into upasanas. Everyone loses one's identity in deep sleep. So we must know that in this avidya bhumi, everything is relative. In vidya bhumi, relativity dies. The absolute truth shines forth. We'll quickly see the English meaning of this as we have taken from esteemed publications. In this state, a father is no father, a mother no mother, worlds no worlds, the gods no gods, Vedas no Vedas. In this state, a thief is no thief. A very powerful mantra indeed. The killer of a noble Brahmana, no killer. A Chandala is no Chandala, a Pulkasa is no Pulkasa, a monk, no monk, a hermit, no hermit. So here, let me share with you certain points from Adi Shankara's commentary. So Adi Shankara not only picks up every word and explains the word, but one thing he does, in fact, this alone should be enough, broadly speaking. He says, in waking and dream, karma has a role to play. What kind of karma you get, what kind of dream you get is also connected to karma. In avidya bhumi, a certain idea of a jivatma who is answerable to his karma is brought in. It is given validity, at least in what we call deliberate superimposition, adhyaropa. All that is dismantled or negated in subsequent negation. Apavada. Adhyaropa and apavada is the most important prakriya, way to go in understanding Vedanta. And Shankara, especially while commenting on this mantra, says, please note, in deep sleep, karma has no bearing at all. Karma has nothing to do with deep sleep. From a less accurate point of view, which sells well, which is popular, you may even make deep sleep the effect of a cause. Somebody who gets hours of deep sleep must have done punya. Somebody who doesn't get deep sleep at all, always disturbed by dream. From the jiva's point of view, we would say he doesn't even get proper sleep. All his papa karma. He did so much of deceit. He hurt so many people and everything. Therefore, so he has to suffer for that. Doesn't get even proper sleep at night. Whereas Punyatmas get very good sleep. Such theories are very popular. But on a higher plateau, where you understand Vedanta better, where you do justice to the central teachings of Upanishads, there is no karma behind deep sleep. There is no karma in deep sleep. There is no karma or karma phala in deep sleep. So Adi Shankara talks about, let's see, one of his lines. Yeah. Atra pita apita bhavati. Talking about it, he says, someone is a pita to someone else who might be putra or putri. So, if Devadatta is Devika's father, Devika is his daughter, and Yajnadatta's father, what made him father of Devika? What made him father of Yajnadatta? These are my explanations. Shankara says, Tasya pitrutvam putram prati tat karma nimittam. It is the karma of that soul which has come as the son or daughter, and it is the karma of this Devadatta to get such a son, to get such a daughter. Right? But then karma applies only to waking and dream, not to deep sleep. Therefore, Adi Shankara connects all these identities. If you are an engineer, it is your karma that made you an engineer. If you are a farmer, it is your karma, past karma, which prompted you to get into agriculture and then emerge as a farmer. So, every one of our identities, whatever we are in the empirical world, in the transactional world, in the relative world, everything that you and I are is the result of karma. Tat karma nimittam. And he clearly says, Tena karmana ayam asambandha. So the one in deep sleep is utterly unrelated to karma. He or she has nothing to do with karma. Asambandha tena karmana asmin kale. Tasmat pita putra sambandha nimittat karmanah vinirmuktatvat. Pita api apita bhavati. In the same way, putraha bhavati. Mata amata. Lokaha. Now, pita, putra, mata, etc. are persons. Loka is not a person, it is a realm. But Loka also is connected to karma. You get Swarga through Punya karma. You get Naraka through Papa karma. Therefore, Lokaha karmana jetavyaha. You have to win heaven by meritorious deeds. So karma came there. Lokaha karmana jetavyaha jitascha. Tatrapi tat karma sambandha abhavat. Lokaha alokaha. So if you take this view, if you keep this in mind, in deep sleep, karma has no business whatsoever. There is no karma, karma phala, etc. Therefore, devaha, karmanga bhutaha, Indra, Varuna, etc. are very much part of Vedika karmas. The offerings are made to them, and they then bless the performers of Vedika karma. Therefore, devaha api karma sambandhe tishtanti, karma karmanaha sambandhe na sati. When there is nothing to do with karma in deep sleep, there are no devas. Vedaha, there also he says, Vedaha, they talk about so many Vedika karmas, and Vedas actually present. Do this karma, do that karma. Chandamsi yasya parnani, 15th chapter of Gita says, Vedas making possible countless karma of karmas, set in motion that whole dynamics of karma and karma phala, and the sansara grows. Sansara vriksha. Chandansi yasya parnani appears in that shloka, first shloka of chapter 15. Urdhamulaha avakshaka. Chandamsi there means Vedaha. So sadhya sadhana sambandha vidhayaka, etc. Vedaha api karma atikramanat. That is sushupta avastha karma atikramyati. Sushupta transcends karma. Where there is transcendence of karma, Vedas have no role to play. Avedaha bhavanti. Stenaha. Stena is, let's say, somebody who steals some gold, as an example. Brunaha, someone who Mahapataki, says Adi Shankara, kills a growing embryo. Chandalaha, more to improve your Sanskrit vocabulary, otherwise no, not much significance. Chandala, whom do we call Chandala? In the ancient system of caste, Shankaracharya says a Chandala is the description for Chandala are the same. Shudrena Brahmanyam Utpanna. A Shudra husband has a Brahmin wife. This is called Pratiloma. Anuloma and Pratiloma. A Brahmin husband has a Shudra wife, that is Anuloma. For some Smritis, we are not going to social studies now, but for appreciation of certain terms which were used. So, if a Brahmin has a wife from a lower caste, that is Anuloma, some Smritis permit it, whereas if a Brahmin man marries, no, not Brahmin man, a Shudra man or Kshatriya man marries a woman of a higher Varna, that is called Pratiloma. So Chandala is one kind of Pratiloma. Pulkasa is another kind of Pratiloma. What is it? Again, a Shudra husband marries a Kshatriya wife. So wife is of a higher Varna. Pratiloma comes about that way. This is more for your, once more let me say, for understanding the terms. Everywhere, all over the world, Hinduism is criticized these days for caste. Show me one country where there has been no caste in a different way. Even today, in the Western countries, depending on communities who have come from different places. Go to America, Hispanics. Donald Trump was fretting and fuming against the Hispanics from Mexico and other Spanish-speaking countries. Oh, so many have come and I want to completely stop. I'll build a wall. One of his statements was to build a wall between Mexico and USA, and lots of things he did. They are nothing but cast in another form. All right. So you have the Shankara Bhashya saying Shramana is Parivrat, a sannyasi, Tapasa is a Vanaprastha. This much is said about this Mata, Amata Bhavati, Pita, Apita Bhavati, and so on. Now we go to the next slide. After dismissing any identity or the possibility of identity in deep sleep, and thereby, or as the basis for it, dismissing karma phala or karma siddhanta to have any relevance in deep sleep, the mantra, one mantra only, the second part of the mantra, we present it in the fourth slide. 4 and 5 are the last slides of this presentation. Now it is said, deep sleep is when one is freed from punya and papa. Obviously, if karma is non-operational, then where is punya, where is papa? Ananvagatam punyena. You see, anu plus agatam means coming together. You order a mobile on Amazon. You think just the mobile is brought and delivered to you at your doorstep. The mobile comes along with a proper packing so that the mobile, the electronic instrument does not get damaged with enough of maybe air bubble packing material and then another cardboard, then all that sealed properly. So you can say the packing is anu agatam. As the mobile was coming towards you, you already paid, ordered. Along with the mobile, the packing comes. Generally, therefore, generally meaning in waking and dream, the appearance of Brahman as the waking state is accompanied by punya also coming along. The mobile comes and the packing also comes along. Somewhere the president of a country goes on a tour and his or her spouse accompanies. That is anvagatam. But now it is said ananvagatam. In waking state, in dream state, punya and papa accompany the soul. In deep sleep, there is no punya. Ananvagatam papena, there is no papa. That means what? When we are using the word when, I've explained it enough. Don't put it on the axis of time, but there is no better word. Therefore, we say when we are in deep sleep, we actually are the Atma itself. Vasanas, avidya, causal body, karana sharira are all dismissed at this height of understanding the Upanishads. They might find a place in literature which approaches Vedanta a notch or two notches below. Therefore, we do not fret and fume with those portions, but we smile and say, to do justice to the teachings of the Upanishads, ananvagatam punyena. There are no, punya or papa, even in a seedal form. Because that very idea of there being a causation between dream, deep sleep and dream, or between dream and waking, or between waking and dream. Waking is the cause, dream is the effect, or dream is the cause, waking is the effect, or waking and dream are the causes leading to a longer or shorter period of deep sleep, etc., is all on a lower plane of a little bit incorrect understanding of the Vedanta. You are in deep sleep, tirnaha. You have gone beyond. Tarana, tarati. Doesn't Mundaka Upanishad say, tarati shokam, tarati papmanam. In self-knowledge, one crosses sorrow, one crosses sin. Tirnaha, someone who has crossed. Tirnahi tada, tirnohi tada. Sarvan shokan hridayasya bhavati. Here, by some force of context, shoka means kama. After all, avidya, kama, and karma, they are called anartha parampara. Avidya, kama, and karma. These three. There is no avidya in deep sleep. There is no kama in deep sleep. There is no karma in deep sleep. Therefore, shoka, sorrow, is also ruled out. Hridayasya, in oneself, in one's being. Now, before concluding, let me tell you, some of you, after everything is said, may still wonder. So, if in deep sleep we are the Atma, then why do we get bound again? And we should be enlightened. Then, someday when we have really slept well, that must give us moksha. You see, first of all, the notion that moksha is something that happens. Moksha is something that is given on a platter or otherwise. Moksha begins, moksha ends, is all not permissible. Moksha is swata siddha, nitya siddha. You are nitya mukta. You may say it's getting very hard. No. Calm your mind. Be receptive. There is nothing so hard about it. When you see it, you will see it. Yap pashyati, sapashyati is the other saying. We would say yada pashyasi, tada pashyasi. There is nothing, making it hard or complex. What has made it complex, what has made it complicated is so many ideas and notions, conditionings, associations have filled you. This erroneous thinking is nothing but a big bag full of conditionings. Some other phenomenon has conditioned you to look at moksha also as a phenomenon on the axis of time. Some other phenomenon has conditioned you to think of moksha as what you will get if you go to Swarga, standing before Indra or Varuna, standing before Shiva or Vishnu. You bow down and you get liberated. So you imagine moksha to happen at some place, to happen at some point of time. Higher Vedanta says that is the problem. That thinking is the problem. You are Nitya Mukta. Then why don't I experience it? Ramana had to face that question for decades. He said, repeat that question. And the visitor says, why do I not experience Brahma if I am already Brahma? And Ramana would say, when you say, why do I not experience, what is that I? Ask yourself, Nanya, who am I? Who am I? The sense of I is ill-conceived, misconceived. Therefore, the error domain is, in a sense, self-sustaining. It's not that error entered you. The you who is lost, who is seeking, who is looking for enlightenment is part of the error itself. It's not that you had an independent existence and then error hit you. So error, therefore, it's a matter of perception. There is an erroneous perception, and Vedanta helps you let go. You let go of erroneous perception, you let go of your identity. So it's an indescribable matter, therefore it is called an awakening. We conclude reading the English translation of this. In the last slide in this session, we say this form of his, or it could be hers. This form is untouched by merit or evil. Punyena papena va ananvagatam. For he or she is then beyond all punya and papa, all merit and evil, and beyond all woes of his heart, her heart, of intellect. That means these worldly desires. I wish I had a bigger house. I wish I had a very obedient children. I wish I had so many wishes. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride them, goes an old saying. Human life is marked by wishes. Brihadāranyaka Upanishad, Chaturtha Adhyayah, Tritiyah or Tritiyam Brahmanam, Dvavimshatitamaha mantra. 4.3.22, what we just now read is the second part of that mantra. Om Namah Paramarashibhyo, Namah Paramarashibhyaha.